So a few folks have been asking about the setup and layout we have for the light show this year, so I thought I would give a quick walkthrough of what we have and how it's working. So the total layout is this. We got the Holiday Coro RIP tombstones up front. Each one of those had 60 nodes. I'm using 5-volt pixels for those, and they seem to be working pretty well. I have a tune-in sign, which I use for more than just tune-in. And then I took 2 4-inch PVC pipes and put 5 pixels in each globe so I can do some special effects there. There's 6 panels in there, and the P5 panels running off of a Beagle Blackbone, Beagle Backbone. I can't even say it. Beagle Blackbone Black. Blackbone Beagle Black. Something like that. Anyway, BBB, running FPP5. And finally, we have the graveyard, which has been pretty cool this year. We have actual fire going on back with the skeleton there and there. And then we've got a couple of the spooky eyes tied in here and here. With that, we also have Pixel AC running this blob that looks like maybe a dead brain, but at night it looks like a big fire pit going on, so that's really cool. And then I've got a bunch of spotlights out here in the graveyard that can play whenever I need them to play. That's all running 12 volt. Everything here is running X-Connect. I decided to go with X-Connect instead of Raywu. Then we got the house. The house itself, on the different sides, I've got 99 pixels running up each side, 162 across the roof line itself. The top window runs 86 pixels across all the different top windows. New this year, we knocked out the center and we put the big spider up, which is 300 pixels, so it's kind of cool. Down on the bottoms, the bottom windows were all 114 pixels. We built each one of these out of PVC frames and then drilled the holes, which put all kinds of PVC in the basement, so it was a pretty nasty process. But then we pushed all the pixels in there, whereas my wife calls it adult light bright. Once we finished with that, we put the pumpkin up new this year, which is actually a really cool Singers, 250 pixels in there. We got the praying spiders, which were 150 pixels. And then we got our Singers, and the faces are about 137 pixels, 138 pixels, depending upon the face that's out. We also had the Ghost Begone, which is 209 pixels, which I painted after buying the prop, so it looks just like the Ghostbuster. And then we have the same elements at the different sides. All in all, I'm running most of these things off JDation Designs DIY fence post kits. And so I got all my Falcon receivers inside of these little kits. And that particular one actually has 2 receivers and a power distribution board, so I can run both power injection and full sets. So this whole left side runs off that one controller, except for the doorway, which we'll talk about in a moment. I also have Wi-Fi power, so that I can turn off and turn on power, so I'm not using anything during the day when nothing's running. And then I have a small little waterproof box running a Wi-Fi router, and that way I can use a projector on the inside of the house running a Pi with FPP and turn projection on and off when I want it. Oops, trip. Coming over here to the doorway. Each doorway, they are the Poor Man's Pixel Poles from Boscoyo. Actually, that's not true. They're from Gilbert and Gilbert Engineering. They were taller. I cut them to size and then used a 1/2-inch EMT to build a frame on the backside, and they're 552 nodes each. And then with those, I'd simply used an MTM 30 caliber case and put a single, I will take a moment and open it. Just a simple Falcon receiver sitting in there, and a Meanwell 350 12 volt power supply underneath. and that runs the doorway as well as the spider. On this side of the house, we've got the same setup here. Got my DIY and an ammo can running the spider as well as the doorway and the small praying spider. Over amongst all this, I have a large case, and this large case is to run the whole right side of the house, but I've got a HP power supply in here. So it's got the capability of running 3 remotes. I'll open that up real quick. Excuse the bouncing. And it's got more power in here than I know what to do with. So I don't use it but for 2 remotes, but it works very well for the full right side of the house. And finally, the brains of the operation, running a Pi on Falcon Player 5. This is my Falcon 48, and that is a little letter I got from a child the first year saying how much he loved the show, and it was pretty awesome. And it looks like my switch that connects the entire show together is off. So anyway, this connects out to every remote out in the yard and provides all the blinky flashy signals, which runs the whole show. Right here, I've got a FM, what am I trying to say? FM transmitter. So when I broadcast, that's just coming out of this box right here. Actually, that's not true. That's the sound and the volume leading out to the speakers. My FM transmitter actually sits right there. So, in a nutshell, that's the basics of the show this year. I hope everybody gets a chance to come out, see it, enjoy it, and go to cobbfamilylightshow.com and you can see the show, the times, etc. When the show's playing, you can actually select a song of your preference, and it'll put it next in the queue. Thanks very much. Have a wonderful day. Happy Halloween.